Good morning, second graders. Happy last day of second grade. I am so proud of all of you. I miss you. I wish I could give you a hug or a handshake or a high five. I hope we'll see each other again one day soon. So, I am going to finish up Dory Black Sheep today. Let's dive right in, find out how Dory's playdate goes. Chapter 5 is called Captain Puff. Rosabelle's dad picks us up after school. On the walk home, we jump into puddles over the sticky poage, and I tell Rosabelle all about my new pet sheep. When we get to Rosabelle's house, there's definitely not a moat to cross. Strange. A little boy in a Batman costume runs to open the door for us. Ro is home, he screams and hugs Rosabelle. This is my little brother Ridley, says Rosabelle. Does that look like a castle to you? Not to me. Hey, who are you? Says Ridley, pointing at me. Dory, I say. She looks like a dumb bear, Ridley screams, still pointing at me. My mouth drops open. What did you say? Ridley, says their dad. That is very rude. She does, Ridley continues. She really does. She looks like a dumb bear. Forget him, says Rosabelle. He's 4. He's crazy. What's going on? Rosabelle's mom calls from her office. Hi, Dory. Nice to meet you. Welcome. I look around Rosabelle's house. It looks sort of like my house, but only when our house gets really messy. Not one thing castle about it. As I'm walking up the stairs to Rosabelle's room, Ridley points at me and screams, She ate my chicken nugget! What? I say. That bear ate my chicken nugget. I did not. I just got here. What is he talking about? Then he starts this terrible, annoying cry. She ate my chicken nugget! Finally, we are safe away from him in Rosabelle's room with the door shut, but I can still hear him crying downstairs. She ate my chicken nugget! While Rosabelle's parents try to calm him down. Rosabelle's room is not exactly the Princess and the Pea. It is the biggest mess I have ever seen. I can't even walk without stepping on a Lego. Her bed is covered with books, and her sheets and blankets and pillows and skirts are on the floor in a nest. Do you want me to help you clean up your room? I ask. No thanks, she says, hugging her dragon. Are you sure? I say. I don't mind. It's a really messy room. We can just shove everything over, she says, and gets on her hands and knees and makes a clearing. Then she sets up a little tea set with water. Now that Mrs. Gobblecracker is a kid, anything could happen, she says, and sips her water with her pinky up. What if she becomes the new kid at school? Or what if she moves next door to you and your mom makes you play with her? Mrs. Gobblecracker is so sneaky, I bet Gigi is even sneakier. Wait, she says, I just remembered. Whatever you do, don't say anything about Mrs. Gobblecracker in front of Ridley, says Rosabelle. I do not want him to know about her. He always copies me and ruins everything, and it's not fair, okay? Uh-oh, who's peeking in the door there? Okay, I say. Suddenly, Ridley bursts into Rosabelle's room and starts taking off his Batman costume until he is down to his fire engine underwear. What are you doing? Get out, says Rosabelle. He hands the costume to me and says in a creepy robot voice, You wear it. No, says Rosabelle, she's not wearing it. How about, let's just see if it fits, I say, because I actually kind of want to wear it. Really, says Rosabelle? It's a lot of work to get on because it's super tight and the mask feels like it's going to shrink my brain, but when I get it on, wow, something about this costume just feels awesome. Come on, let's get back to our tea time, says Rosabelle. But now that I'm wearing this costume, I can't stop jumping off her bed. I want to fly! Yes, I see that, Rosabelle says. Actually, that's a great idea. Batman can fight Gigi. What are your superpowers? How about underwater breathing and cross-dimensional awareness, I ask. Let's keep this simple. How about super strength and super speed, she says. Don't worry, I'll train you. Okay, sure, I say. Let me write that down. Wait a minute, do you want to be called Batman or something else? I say. Good question. Batwoman, suggests Rosabelle. How about Captain Puff? I ask. Captain Puff, shouts Rosabelle, jumping up and down with excitement. Yes. I try out my new Captain Puff voice. I say, some people don't believe in superheroes because they haven't met Captain Puff. But then Ridley returns and he is wearing all my clothes. Look at me, I'm a hiker. I hike mountains. Those aren't hiking clothes, I say, standing on Rosabelle's windowsill. Yes, they are. I'm a hiker. Wherever I go, I hike. Fine, go hike. Go on a nice long hike. Hike away, Rosabelle says, and pushes him into the hallway. He's never going to leave us alone. Let's get out of here. We can do your superhero training in the backyard. Watch out below, I say, jumping off the windowsill. Come on, she says, grabbing my cape. You can jump off the swings. But on our way out, we find Ridley in the hallway. He is playing with his toy cars, wearing only a tutu and socks on his hands. Where are my clothes, I ask him. Your hiking clothes, he asks. My regular clothes. Where are they? I wait for an answer. Did you know I have 2 boxes of magnetic tiles in my classroom? So what? I say. He's trying to change the subject, says Rosabelle. That means he did something really bad. Rosabelle shakes her head and folds her arm. We can ask my parents to help, but I don't think we're going to get them back. 'Cause they're wet, says Ridley. Why are they wet? I ask. Is Sleepy Beauty a boy or a girl? He asks. Rosabelle is starting to look really mad. Forget it. I don't care about my clothes, I say to Rosabelle. Let's just get away from him. But as we walk away, we hear Ridley's voice. I had one frog. Mrs. Gobblecracker came in my room. Oh no. Rosabelle and I freeze. We turn around to listen. Mrs. Gobblecracker said, That's my frog. I said, No, that's my frog. She said, That's my frog. And then I say, Okay, you take the hiking clothes. At first we are so confused we don't say anything. Then Rosabelle shouts, You little spy! Rosabelle looks so angry as if she were in a comic book. Steam would be coming out of her ears. Come on, it's okay, I say, trying to pull her away. But her feet are crazy glued to the ground and her eyes are all fired up, ready to go. You nosy little beast, she shouts, her face bright red. I had no idea Rosabelle could get this angry. I'm pretty sure she is what my mom calls pushed over the edge. You little butt baby. You nobody-faced, shriveled up raisin brain, she shouts. And then she attacks. She pins Ridley to the ground and pulls off his sock hands. I'm going to rip your smelly shrimp head and smash it into throw up. This is getting crazy. I don't know what to do. But Captain Puff does. Excuse me, let Captain Puff handle this, please, I say in my Captain Puff voice, shoving myself in between them. Come with me, boy, I say, dragging him into his bedroom. Are you really Captain Puff, he asks, breathless. Can you fit inside this hamper, I ask him, because this is the safest place for you. I think so, he says. Climb right in, boy, I say, helping him. As I leave the room, I hear a small, muffled voice from the hamper. Excuse me, Captain Puff, it's sort of uncomfortable because I'm sitting on some wet hiking clothes that fell into the toilet. When my mom picks me up, she asks me a million questions in the car. Where was Rosabelle's brother? I thought she had a little brother. And I don't understand how nobody knows where your clothes are. Why did you put that costume on that is clearly way too small for you in the first place? It's a size 3, rascal. That means it's for 3-year-olds. How on earth did you get it over your head? I feel terrible that we have to take their costume. We're going to have to cut it off with scissors. At least we left them the cape. Rascal, why do you do these things? A hero does good for good, I say in my Captain Puff voice, not for glory. Chapter 6 is called Little Robber. I have to show you that picture. The first thing Violet says to me when she hears that I lost my clothes is, let me guess, Mrs. Gobblecracker took them. Yep, I say, she traded them for a frog. I think that's what happened. Then Luke and Violet start to tease me about my costume. They say I have a wedgie. They laugh so hard they can't get up from the floor. I don't know what a wedgie is, but I can tell it has something to do with my butt. This makes me stop feeling like a superhero. I have to sit down so that Luke and Violet can't keep seeing my butt. I won't get up from the dinner table until I'm sure it's safe. Aren't you done? Mom said you could be excused. Rascal, can you just let me help you take off that costume, or are you going to make a super big deal out of it, calls my mom from the living room. I don't like either choice, so I don't answer. Instead, I wait and wait and wait. From the living room, my mom says, we really should read together tonight. Remember, 20 minutes. That's the last thing she says before she closes her eyes. When I'm sure she's asleep and the house is quiet, I sneak upstairs to my room. Presenting Captain Puff, I say, making the grand entrance I had been planning. Then I fly to the top of my dresser. Well, says Mary, how did you become Captain Puff? Because I had the best playdate ever, I said. I had a playdate too, says Mary. How, I ask. Gigi came over, she says. Gigi? I jumped down from my dresser. Did you say Gigi? She rang the doorbell, says Mary. And you let her in? She said she wanted to play. What did you play? I asked. Well, first she just wanted to make coffee, so we did that. Yeah, and then she drank a lot of coffee. A lot. Okay. She got really hyper. What does that mean exactly, I asked. Well, her eyes kind of bugged out and she started talking really fast and running around and touching everything. She banged into a lot of things and then she started doing cartwheels, although she's horrible at them. She couldn't even get her legs up. And then she banged on the piano and sang songs I've never heard of. I think she made them up. They were pretty weird. All night long I looked for my socks, blood and bones, socks and meat. Chicken glop, we think we're stupid, but we're really smart. Do you remember that slippery tomato? Neither do I. And then she found a huge amount of Post-its in the kitchen drawer, and she ran around and stuck them all over the house, in every room, on the windows, the walls, the furniture, on the phone, everywhere. And then she asked for a snack, but she was really picky about everything I offered her. She said she wanted soup, and I said, we don't have any soup right now. And then she threw a big fit. But in the middle of her fit, she got distracted by some crumbs on the kitchen floor, and she started playing with them and talking to them in this very high baby voice. And then all of a sudden, she ran upstairs to go to the bathroom. She was gone so long, I thought she fell in the toilet, but when I came upstairs to look for her, she was gone. Your bedroom window was open. She must have climbed down to the side of the house. I guess that's how she likes to leave. Where are the Post-its, I ask. I cleaned them all up, says Mary, smiling proudly. Wow. Mrs. Gobblecracker is really a bonkers kid. What did you think, I ask. It was so fun. I loved it, says Mary. I loved it. Could she come back tomorrow? Pretty please with a chair on top. It's Cherry, I say. I already invited her, says Mary. And then I remember Goblin. I jump up and open the closet. The closet is empty. Oh, no. Where's Goblin? I ask Mary. I didn't take him out, she says. I promise. Then where'd he go? I have no idea, says Mary. It was Gigi, that sheep stealer. I bet she snuck him out the window. I was right. Never trust a gobblecracker. The next morning at school, I tell Rosabelle and George the news. Gigi came to my house, went into my room, and stole my pet sheep. That little thief, says Rosabelle. She's going to put pants on him, says George. Pants? Who cares about pants? She could be making lamb stew out of him. What do I do? I ask him. This is your chance, rascal, says Rosabelle. You have to use your superhero powers to battle Gigi and save your sheep, she says. Oh, if only you still had the Captain Puff costume. That would be perfect. Look, I say, and unbutton my shirt so they can see. My mom fell asleep and forgot about it. Rosabelle gasps. You're a genius. That looks really uncomfortable, says George. That afternoon, George can't wait to battle Gigi. He keeps raising his hand and asking if it's quiet reading time yet, and the teacher keeps looking over at the pencil sharpener nervously. When it's finally reading time, George opens his book and says, Captain Puff, you fly over the barn and grab the sheep. I'll do my karate moves on Gigi. Just as I reach Goblin, I hear a voice. Dory, can you read out loud to me for a few minutes? Asks my teacher. Uh-oh. Dory, are you there? I feel a hand on my shoulder. I'd love to hear you read, says the teacher, who pulls up a chair next to me. Okay, I say. When I read, the words get all crooked up. The words don't make a story. It's the opposite of a story. As I'm reading, I get hotter and hotter and hotter, and my Captain Puff costume feels tighter and tighter underneath my clothes. The teacher writes a whole page in her notebook. Then she pats me on the back and says, Keep practicing. You'll get there, honey. When the teacher's gone, I'm quiet. I don't want to play anymore. You play without me, I tell George. But what are you going to do? George asks. Read? Yes, I say in a voice so quiet that he can't hear me. That night after dinner and just before bed, the doorbell rings. I look out the window and I see Gigi standing on the stoop. I take off my nightgown. I'm still Captain Puff underneath. Hi, is Mary home? Asks Gigi when I open the door. You little robber, I say. You stole my sheep. I know, it was so fun. I was so sneaky. Nobody saw me. With my super strength, I pick up Gigi. Give me back my sheep or I'll fly you straight out of the universe and leave you there. That sounds kind of fun, she says. So with my super speed, off we go. Yippee! Woo-wee! Last chance, I tell her. Goblin? Goblin White walks right past us. Where is he going? Asks Gigi. Look, I whisper. Is that his family? All those white sheep? It can't be, says Gigi. But when we see how much they love him, we know it is. This is where he belongs. Oh, phooey, says Gigi, and kicks some space dust. Goodbye. Can I have a ride back? Asks Gigi. I could just leave her there, but surrounded by the huge blackness of the universe, I notice how little she is. Maybe even smaller than me. Yeah, fine, I grumble. That was super weird, says Gigi, sitting on my stoop. Yeah, Goblin was really lost, huh? He's from another planet, says Gigi. I'll miss him, I say. I sit down next to her. He was the greatest sheep I ever stole, says Gigi. The sky is dark. The stars are out. I take off my mask. What do you want to be when you grow up? I ask Gigi. The biggest robber ever. I can't wait to grow up. I bet my nose will get even longer. I want to live in a cave and wear a long black... Shh, be quiet for a second, I say. From the stoop, I can hear my parents' voices through the open window in the living room. They are talking about me. Rascal's teacher called today, she says. Rascal is going to need some extra help with reading, I hear my mom say. I'm not surprised, says my dad, laughing. It's because she never stops talking. How can a person learn to read when they are never quiet for a single second? If she's not talking to us, she's talking to herself. Seriously, says my mom, I'm concerned. Luke and Violet were reading perfectly by the time they were her age. What are we going to do with her? I look at Gigi. I don't want to cry in front of her, but I can't help it. I gotta go, says Gigi. Tell Mary we can play another day. All night long, I looked for my socks. Upstairs in my room, after a lot of sweat and a couple rips, I wiggle myself out of my costume. I put on my nightgown. Without waiting for anyone to tuck me in, I crawl into bed and fall asleep. The next morning, I wake up extra early. One by one, I take my favorite books off of the bookshelf. All alone, in the quiet of my room, I lie on the floor with my books. As the morning light shines brighter and brighter through my window, I turn the pages and look carefully at the pictures. I look at the words carefully too. And some of the words I read. Chapter 7 is called Hide and Seek Tag. The next day when it's time for reading, my teacher said she decided to make a little change. From now on, I have a new reading partner, and so does George. I sit down next to my new partner. She turns to me and says, I love the Happy Little Farm books, don't you? I guess so, I say. Which one is your favorite? My favorite is about the black sheep who gets lost, she says. George is saying, I loved you, rascal. How did you know he was lost? I ask. Because I read the book, silly, she says. Can we read it together, I ask her. Sure, she says, smiling. Later at recess, Rosabelle is yelling her head off. Dory, George, come quick, look over there. Gigi is in our schoolyard, tangled in a jump rope. What is she doing here? Asks George. Oh no, she sees us. Hi guys, says Gigi. Want to tie up the pre-K kids with my jump rope? Do you go to this school? George asks her. Nope, she says. I don't go to school. Then why are you here? 'Cause I love recess, she says. Don't you want to play with me? No way, yells Rosabelle. Wait, I tell Rosabelle. It's okay. First I untangle Gigi from the jump rope. Then I say, maybe we'll play, but it depends on the game. Let's play hide and seek, says Gigi. Not it, says George. Not it, says Rosabelle. Not it, I say. I'll be it. Okay, I say to Gigi, the stairs will be base. We'll go hide and you close your eyes and count to 20. Then we have to run to the base before you tag us. We all go run and hide. From my hiding spot under the bench, I hear Gigi counting. 1, 2, what's happening? 3, 4, 5. I'm getting bigger. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. I love these shoes. My nose. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh my goodness, what's happening, friends? Ready or not? Here I come. It's Mrs. Gobblecracker. Ah, help! And that is the end of our story, friends. What did you think of that one? I really liked it.